All right, at this moment, we're approaching the end of the extended ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
That's right. Israel has expressed interest in extending the pause, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that this will not end the war. The hostage and prisoner swap is expected to resume today. Hamas released another 12 hostages on Monday. In total, it's freed 81 hostages since the start of the ceasefire. In exchange, Israel has freed 180 Palestinian prisoners. Many of those have returned to the West Bank.
Now, the extended pause has also provided additional time for another key part of this agreement, for aid to enter the embattled Gaza Strip. But humanitarian experts say what's moving in now is only a fraction of truly what's needed. Our Lilia Luciano continues her reporting from Tel Aviv, Israel. She joins us now to speak about all of this. Lilia, both Israel and Hamas have expressed interest in extending the ceasefire. That's what everybody wants. But how likely is that?
Well, Errol, Lana, it's good to hear you both. As you know, the amount and the effort, amount of conversations and the efforts that went into extending the ceasefire for these 2 additional days in exchange for at least 20 hostages, not counting, of course, the other foreign nationals who are not Israeli national hostages that have been released between yesterday and that we expect will be released today, was incalculable. We know that Secretary of State Antony Blinken is going to be in the region tomorrow. He's going to be here in Tel Aviv. He's going to be in the West Bank, in the United Arab Emirates. Jordan is hosting a conference to discuss humanitarian aid that's expected to happen tomorrow. Of course, Qatar continues to be involved, as is Egypt, in all of these negotiations. But to get to the point of just adding 2 days was an incredible effort. We know that according to Hamas and the communications that they put out there, compared to the numbers of hostages that are listed as still in captivity, there's enough women and children to maintain the terms of the deal, meaning to release 10 hostages a day, among them women and children, for 2 to 3 days. This is what Israeli officials have said. After the women and children, it's possible that we're talking about an entirely new deal with new terms that would involve men, soldiers. There are women soldiers who are being held. There are, men, elderly men who are soldiers as well. So they just fall into a different category than from this initial number of hostages. So what it will take to extend the ceasefire for another few days, for who knows, indefinitely, as many of the aid organizations, as millions of people in the world have been calling for, as the UN has been calling for, and as certainly the hostage families, until at least they get their loved ones home, have been calling for, is going to take some work. But clock is running out. It runs out at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
And Lilia, I want to follow up with you about the point you were making about aid, because the prolonged ceasefire has provided additional time for humanitarian aid to enter Gaza. Talk to us about what sort of aid is actually getting, especially to the northern part of the territory. Is it getting into the hands of the Palestinians most in need?
There are far fewer Palestinians in northern Gaza, but some aid has been getting up there. As you might remember, there were some delays in the release of hostages over the last several days, precisely because Hamas was accusing Israel of not abiding by the terms of the deal, meaning not allowing the agreed upon number of trucks of aid to get to northern Gaza. But still, there has been some of that aid getting there. We're talking about fuel, food, water. But keep in mind, the majority of Gazans have been displaced. 1.8 million people in the Gaza Strip have been displaced. They're now internally displaced people, according to the United Nations. The vast majority are in southern Gaza, so that's where a lot of aid is getting to them. According to the World Health Organization, there's now concerns over the health of Palestinians in Gaza, that they are concerned that there might be outbreaks. Of course, the conditions there, the water is not sanitary. And besides that, there's also a great deal of concern over the many orphaned children who've been separated from their parents. So there are organizations now doing what they can to try and find family members where they can stay and start registering those children, the ones that have survived, because of course, according to the Hamas-run Health Ministry of Gaza, around 6,000 children have been killed, and those stories continue pouring in. Lana, Errol.
All right, Lilia Luciano, thank you very much.